and we swallow, and the food comes into the stomach. And in the stomach is one of the most powerful immune system weapons that the human body has. It's called hydrochloric acid. Have you heard of hydrochloric acid? Now, hydrochloric acid has a few roles. Hydrochloric acid and another enzyme called pepsinogen, they unite together to produce pepsin, and pepsin breaks down protein. And as I said last night, that's the only part of the body that should be acid. Now, hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen uniting to produce pepsin, that only happens in a very acid environment. And our stomach should be acid. What would stop acidity? Drinking with meals, and isn't that an Aussie habit? Drinking with the meals. Drinking with the meals waters down the hydrochloric acid. We had a lady from India do our program. She said, I was shocked when I came to Australia. She said, they drink with their meals. And she looked and she said, don't they know? She said, in India, we do not drink with our meals because it'll water down your digestive enzymes. Makes sense, doesn't it? Makes a lot of sense. Now let me draw the stomach, because the stomach, again, is a very important part of your immune system. So here's stomach. I've got a nice thick pen here. And that stomach should have a thick mucosa wall. And that mucosa wall is mucus, and mucus is 99% water. So if someone's dehydrated, they're going to have a thin mucosa wall. Now, in that mucosa wall, there's sodium bicarbonate, sodium bicarb. And sodium bicarb neutralizes stomach acid. So can you see why that happens? Because if any stomach acid tries to get through here, the sodium bicarb will neutralize it so it doesn't eat holes in our stomach. Having a glass of water half an hour before the meal, the first thing that will do is produce a thick mucosal lining. That's why that is the best time to drink, between meals. We should stop drinking half an hour before the meal and resume about an hour and a half to 2 hours after the meal. When we drink about an hour and a half to 2 hours after the meal, that keeps those digestive enzymes nice and strong, nice and acid, so they can break up all the chemical bonds that make up protein. So we've got to break them all up into separate amino acids. See, our gastrointestinal tract's a fascinating part of the body. But hydrochloric acid has another role, and this is why it must be mentioned in the immune system. Hydrochloric acid kills pathogens. Do you know what this means? The people that go down with food poisoning are people with not good hydrochloric acid. So we should have nice, strong hydrochloric acids because it's an important part of our immune system. What would deplete hydrochloric acid levels? Number one, you're drinking with the meals. Number two, eating all day long. Notice how many stomachs we've got. Now, if you're unsure, I'm just going to write a big number 1 there. Got that? And that stomach takes 3 to 4 hours to digest, then it loves a 1 hour rest. So we should be having 5-6 hours between every meal. And yet what's the common thought has been for the last 30 years? Grazing. Why do they say graze? It'll raise your metabolic rate. That's like a horse, a jockey on a horse race. The horse won't go fast enough, he starts whipping it. Will it go faster? Oh yes, it's being whipped. That's what happens when you keep putting food in your stomach. You're just beating up the stomach. So of course it raises your metabolic rate a bit because it's being beaten up. The only way to effectively raise your metabolic rate is exercise. Exercise will raise your metabolic rate. See, when I was a little girl, we weren't allowed to eat between meals. We had breakfast, we had lunch, and we had tea. We should be eating breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, tea like a pauper. We should have breaks between meals, and between meals, that's when you drink water. Now, the other thing that will stop hydrochloric acid production is stress. I think we know that one. Whenever you're anxious or upset, digestion goes. We know it, don't we? So it's very important when you eat to eat in a happy environment. No controversial subject should be discussed at the meal table. How can we boost hydrochloric acid? Well, there's a wonderful herb that'll wake up anything. It's called cayenne pepper. You know it well? Black pepper is an irritant, and they've tested many black peppers. They've all got mold on them. It molds as it dries. But cayenne pepper is a wonderful stimulant to the stomach. It'll wake up your hydrochloric acid. How do you take it? Just a quarter of a teaspoon in a little water just before the meal. You'll have a nice warm tummy and it'll boost your production of hydrochloric acid. Cayenne pepper will never burn you. Cayenne pepper will never harm you, and it'll thin your blood. It's the best blood thinner. Forget the warfarin, the rat poison. Forget the aspirin. You know, the latest research shows that aspirin causes brain bleeds. No. Just take the cayenne pepper. Also, to boost your hydrochloric acid, again, have the breaks between meals. So it's as simple as that. Something else that will boost it is lemon. Even a little, maybe third of a cup of hot water with the juice of a lemon. Throw that down just before the meal, and the hot will bring the digestive juices, and the lemon will boost hydrochloric acid. It's as simple as that.